Hey chopsticks, on the menu today is laksa, aka spicy coconut curry noodle soup. Now if you are new to my channel, welcome, my name is Merrick, nice to meet you. I film mukbangs and ASMR, so if you are interested in these types of videos, make sure to subscribe. Without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so I have my delicious laksa right in front of me, and I am so hungry. Let's eat, everyone. Got your chopsticks out? I got mine. Mmm. Okay, I'm gonna take my very first bite before I give you a tour of my laksa and what's inside. Look at these noodles. Oh my god. Open wide. You guys got it? Got it? Slay! Mmm. 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 Delicious. Mmm. Mmm. This laksa is the bomb.com. Mmm. Like I said in my intro, laksa is spicy coconut curry noodle soup. It originated, according to Wikipedia, it originated from Malaysia. So if you're Malaysian watching me right now, shout out to you guys. You make delicious food for the entire world to eat. Sorry, I had like a brain freeze right there. I didn't know what I was gonna say. Awkward moments on YouTube, my bad. Also, according to Wikipedia, a lot of people in Singapore and Indonesia also eat laksa. So shout out to those countries as well. Sorry, I have to use my bowl because like the pan is kind of too far away from me. So I'm literally like hunched over every time I need to slurp some noodles up. So I'm just gonna use my bowl. Mmm. Mmm. As you can tell by the title, we are doing another story time! Yay! Story time, story time. Who's ready for the story time? Because I am, everyone. I feel like I'm not the best at talking tonight for some reason. I'm running over my words. Maybe it's because I'm filming it at like 10 p.m. at night, so I'm a little bit tired from my day. But you know what? I'm going to get my energy pumping because I'm so excited to tell you this story time. It literally just happened to me yesterday, so it's like fresh in my mind still. But before we get to the story time, let me tell you what's inside my laksa. So within the laksa, we have the noodles. These are called fried tofu puffs. So they're basically tofu but fried. You can get this at your Asian supermarket. We also have some fish balls, the circular ones. This slice of meat, well, it's not really meat. This slice right here, this is fish cake that I sliced up. And we also have some shrimp. I topped it off with some fresh bean sprouts. And yeah, that's basically everything in my laksa. If you're wondering if this is store-bought or homemade, this is homemade, but for my base and noodles, I actually bought it from the store. Like all the toppings, I cooked and I put everything together. I assembled everything together, but the packet itself looks like this right here. I got this at my local Asian supermarket and it just says laksa and what else does it say? Noodle in aromatic coconut soup. So if you're wondering what the laksa I bought is, this is what it looks like. If you're interested in checking this laksa out, you can't find it in your Asian supermarket or you don't live by an Asian supermarket, I'll link it in the description box down below so you can find it online. Everyone knows this about me, but I cannot stand it when YouTubers mention a product or like food and they don't link it. I'm like, where am I supposed to find this now? So if you are interested in trying some laksa out for yourself, make sure to open the description box and click the link to the laksa noodles. I hope I can find it on Amazon. It would be so embarrassing if Amazon didn't carry this and it kept saying that I'll link it for you guys in the description box. I love fish balls. As a matter of fact, I love any balls. Balls make me happy. Sorry, a lot of the broth is like splashing everywhere every time I try to lift up the noodles. Ooh, okay. By the way, the laksa I showed you guys, it's made in Singapore, so it's really authentic. The last time I had laksa was actually the last time I had laksa was at a restaurant in my city, but the second last time I had laksa was actually in the Singapore airport. And it was damn good because it was fresh. Not saying this isn't good, but laksa in a restaurant usually beats laksa in a packet. But if you are looking to save a couple of bucks, make sure to check out this laksa out online. This is not sponsored by this laksa company, by the way. I feel like whenever I talk about products, it sounds so sponsored because like my personality is like very salesy, I think. Even though I suck at sales, we can go on an entire rant about me being in sales. I'm not really in sales, but I'm just really bad at convincing people to do stuff or say stuff. That's probably why I'm married right now, because I can't convince a man to put a ring on this finger. Okay, that's a ring finger, right? I almost like flipped you guys off. I was like, oh, that's like one finger away from flipping you guys off. Shrimp with a bean sprout on top. I love me some shrimp, you guys. Some people call it prawns. I call it usually shrimp, but sometimes prawns as well. Slay, honey. I didn't peel it well enough. I got some shell still stuck on the skin. Let me try out the broth now. Got my Chinese soup spoon. Easy access to the broth. It's not bad. I can really taste a coconut scent. I really enjoy that broth. Ooh, a little bit spicy too, actually. I just came back from the gym, so Merrick is so hungry right now. I'm so happy. So for today's story time, it will be called Too Expensive. Yep, that's the name of the story time today. Too expensive. Right now, it probably makes no sense. Give me 1 second. Let's start off the story time with. Oh, hold on. Let me think which side it is. It should be this side. Let's start off the story time with the question of the day. Today's question of the day is. I actually don't know because I didn't memorize it. I'm going to look at my cheat sheet real quick. Oh, okay, I remember. Today's question of the day is. Have you ever left a restaurant after you have been seated? If so, why? Have you ever left a restaurant if you have been seated? If so, why? I don't know why I feel the need to repeat the question of the day twice, because sometimes I feel like maybe I slurred my words, you couldn't hear me correctly. So I like to say it twice, just in case. Now, what I mean is, have you ever went into a restaurant, been seated by the not the waitress, the hostess, been seated at a table, and then got up and left? Have you ever done that before? Let me know in the comments down below because I'm very interested to hear all your responses. Now, as most of you guys know, my story times do relate to the question of the day, and for this mukbang, it is no exception. There's so many noodles, oh my god. By the way, there's 2 packets in here, 2 servings. Have you answered the question of the day yet? If not, pause this video and go answer it. I want to know. I genuinely want to know. Seriously. Fried tofu puff. Okay, let's start this story time. So, it starts off with me and my friend having plans for dinner. We felt like trying something new. Try a new restaurant, support a new restaurant. I don't know, we just didn't want to go to our regular ones. So, I recall seeing this restaurant that I wanted to try. It serves Korean fried chicken. I came across it about a week ago on a blog, and I suggested to my friend, hey, let's go try this restaurant, because we both love Korean fried chicken, and we want to try something new, and neither of us have been there before. She agrees. We drive there. We walk into the restaurant. Sorry about that. I can't multitask. Eating and talking is a struggle for me. And right when we open our menus, or right when I opened my menu, my friend was like, wow, this is so expensive. I check, and she's right. It's pretty expensive. To put this into context, there's this really famous dish there, a very famous fried chicken dish with some cheese all around it and some corn, like mozzarella corn, I think, on the skillet. It was $35, and I don't really have a picture to show you guys how big it was, but it was for two people, right? It was $35. The thing was, it didn't even have that much food on the skillet. Like, if I was to give it like a normal pricing, it'll probably be like $25 at other restaurants, like when I compare it to other places. But at this restaurant, it was $35. And a $10 difference is like more than a 33% cost difference. This restaurant was like your local mom and pop's restaurant. There's nothing that special about it. This isn't like fine dining or anything. You're not paying for like the atmosphere, for the lighting, for the decor. You're not paying for any of that. Like if it was like a really fancy Korean fried chicken restaurant, not sure if that exists, but if it was a really fancy fried chicken place, like a $10 difference, that makes sense because they paid a lot for renovations to make the restaurant look really nice. But inside, it looked like it was from the 90s. Like it was really outdated. So I don't know why it was so expensive. Mm. And again, for the amount of food we got and the quality, it was the exact same thing as other restaurants that sell it for $25, not $35. We went there on a Monday at 5 p.m., pretty early, because we were going to see a movie afterwards. About 10 minutes goes by. Well, I think it was more like 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Oh, when we walked in, Monday, 5 p.m., there was no one. It was deserted. We were the only customers. Kind of expected, I guess. Because it's like, not a good time. Since people are getting off work and stuff, it's a Monday. 5 minutes goes by, and a couple walks in. So they would be the second table. A couple walks in and they get their menus, okay? At this point, my friend and I are still deciding what we want to order. The couple gets out of their seat, they walk to the cashier, and there's two thoughts that go through my mind. My first thought was, wow, they already know what they want. They must come here very often because they know the entire menu and they probably have a favorite item here. Second thought was, wow, they're really impatient. They just got seated less than like 2 minutes and then they went to the cashier because they didn't want to wait for the server to come to their table to take their order, so they just walked up to the cashier so they can order themselves. Yeah, so those were my two thoughts. Sorry if that didn't make any sense at all. Basically, my first thought was they knew what they wanted. Second thought was, man, are they impatient? So I'm looking at my menu still at this point, and I glance up and I see both of them shut the menu. They put it on the cashier table and they walked out the door. They walked out the door. Like they didn't want anything at the restaurant. Like that kind of blew me away it didn't really blow me away that much, but it blew my friend away a lot more because that was the first time she witnessed anyone walking out of a restaurant without ordering something. But I've seen it many times. I guess my question is that considered rude? Is it considered rude if you go into a restaurant and you're seated at a table and you open the menu and either everything's too expensive or you don't like anything you see, so you close the menu and walk out of the restaurant? Is that rude? If not, should you tell your waiter or waitress that you're leaving instead of them coming back to your table and not finding anyone there? Hmm. Like for us, $35 was expensive, but it wasn't that expensive to the point where we thought we had to walk out of the restaurant. Like in our minds, it's like, okay, I'm overpaying $10, whatever. We just won't come here again. Like if the item was worth $25 and they're selling it for $50, then I would have a problem because they're like doubling the price. But like if it's worth $25 at other restaurants and they're selling it for 35, I'm like, okay, this is like our first time here. We never tried it before. Maybe it's really good. If it's not, we just won't come back, right? So we did not walk out of the restaurant and we actually ordered the $35 item. Now there were cheaper options like other dishes, but when I was looking online and on all the food blogs, it was this specific dish that the restaurant was famous for. So I didn't want to try like the cheaper items, you know what I mean? I want to try what they're famous for, and unfortunately, what they're famous for costs $35 as opposed to 25. And honestly, the food wasn't even that good. Like it was just average in my opinion. Mm. So maybe that's why it was empty. Like, yeah, it's a Monday on at 5 p.m., but it might also be empty because it's so expensive and no one can afford to dine there. And again, this is not fine dining, okay? This is not like wine service, table wine service. I don't know what you call it, where people like pour your wine beside you or beside your table. It was just really casual. To the people who said no, it's not rude to be seated and leave the restaurant if you can't afford it or you don't see anything you like, let me ask you a follow up question to that, okay? Do you think it's rude if you get seated and the waiter or waitress pours you a glass of water? Is that rude to get up and leave after you've been poured that glass of water? I know, right? I don't know. It's like kind of controversial. Like there's no like right answer, I think, because people can argue it both ways. I don't know. Like I would just like it really depends on the situation, but in general, I would not get up and leave unless like they're really rude to me, the waiter or waitress. I have seen people get up and leave when the waiter or waitress doesn't come back and check on them. Like they just get seated and they never hear back from the waiter or waitress ever again. So yeah, I think like I would get up and leave because like that's kind of really disrespectful. But again, it really depends on the situation. It sucks because the food blogs I discovered this restaurant on, they did not include a warning about it being really expensive or like pricing, so it was just really frustrating. But hey, like I said, it's only one meal. No reason to cry over spoiled milk. Is the expression no need to cry over spoiled milk or spilled milk? I'm not sure. Is it spoiled or spilled? Hmm. I really like the broth. Hmm. Couple more prawns in here. Mmm. Delicious. I'm also very curious about the perspective of the waiter or waitress. If any of you chopsticks do work in the hospitality industry, like you're a waiter or waitress, how would you feel if your customers or your table got up and left without telling you? Or maybe they told you, they're like, oh, this is really expensive, we can't afford it, sorry for wasting your time. Would you take offense to that? Good questions, eh? Personally, I've never been a waiter before, so I can't really tell you. I don't think I've ever gotten up from a table and left a restaurant before without ordering something. Like, I've seen it many times, but myself, I've never been one of those tables where they're ignored by the wait staff. Oh, I'm getting pretty full now. Hmm. So yeah, that's basically the story time. Sometimes my story times aren't really that exciting. I just like to tell you guys what interesting things happened in my days, just so I have something to share it with. Hmm. That's why I named the story time Too Expensive, because that restaurant, their most famous dish was too expensive for the couple, and that's why they left. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Alrighty, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you are subscribed, make sure you turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Love you, chopsticks, and remember to slay your day.